My name is Sue Goddess, I wanna hear you say it. Don't have time for drama, I'm out here trying to make it. What goes on through my mind is different.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sue's channel, Chats with Sue or whatever you want to call it, with the Goddess Has Spoken. I am new to this YouTube stuff, so I really hope I don't make a fool of myself, but y'all just bear with me because I got some stuff to talk about. It's a little juicy, and don't come for me with this, my little coat on or whatever, because it's cold in the house. So anywho, I want to tell y'all about how I became Sue Goddess in the first place. Where did Sue Goddess even come from? Boom. So the people that know me know that my name is Ashanti. And I decided that, I've been through a lot of shit growing up. Oop, my bad. Before I get into this too much, let me tell y'all, I do cuss. And if you do not like cussing, I'm sorry, but you're going to exit the chat or whatever. Don't even stay tuned or whatever. But anywho, like I was saying, I have had a very traumatizing past, with my parents. My mother was physically abusive, neglectful with me and my sister, and my father. He was okay until I got older, then he became more physical and stuff. At first it was more like emotional or whatever. So, I just held in a lot of, nonsense for years and just held it in, and it had to come out one way or another. So then I graduated high school 2018, and I ended up moving out of my father's home because it just wasn't that good. I came from living with my mother, and it was hell. And when I finally got with him, I was so excited, and then he switched up on me, and then just, was looking for every reason for me to leave. And so I ended up leaving, and I went to go stay with this guy. This guy's like irrelevant or whatever. We ain't even gonna mention him because he's not even worth the time talking. So I went to go stay with the guy for a little bit, and things weren't the best between us. He was cool at first, but then I realized he was a very huge narcissist. And it was so bad with him. Points, very few points, he became like physically abusive with me, and I'm not for that shit. So that ended up happening, and it got to a point where I just felt like I could not take it anymore. So I decided to write a song because I got to a point where the guy put his hands on me, and I was calling on my father for help, and he did not do anything. He wouldn't answer the phone. And I remember my dad always told me that, he would never turn his back on me, and it came to a point where I felt like I really needed him and he wasn't there for me. So I decided, all right, now I'm really pissed off because you showing me that I don't have nobody on my side. You staying right up the street and you can't even help me. I'm going through some shit right now. I need to be away from this guy. I shouldn't have went over there in the first place. But yeah, and when I was trying to go back to my father's house, he wouldn't allow me to come back. He just, did me bogus. So I ended up getting upset in my feelings one day. Me and the guy were fighting, and I ended up writing a song. And boom, it was Ruthless. And it was when, the song that's at the intro. If you want to hear the rest of the songs, go check out YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. Go check it out. Look me up. You already know. But anywho, yeah, so we ended up, that's how that happened. And I wrote, a couple of raps, Abundance and Cold as Ice. Well, I forgot which ones I wrote, but I know I wrote a couple of them. And then I ended up, taking it to the studio for my birthday, my 18th birthday, I think, or my 19th birthday. And I went to the studio in Vion over there where, what's that guy's name? I can't even think. Juice WRLD used to go. Queen Key. I can't even think. It's so many celebrities that go to Envion Studios to get their music made, and that's where I was going or whatever. And I went up there for the first time, and they made the song sound exactly like how I wanted it to sound. And you guys don't understand the process. It's like it just was something I felt like I was able to vent, and I felt like I just felt really good. I felt in my zone, and I don't know, once I got in the booth, it's just something just snapped out of me, and I felt so good. Like I finally got to physically scream and shout in the song and be angry and stuff like that. So that's how that came to be. And you know, honestly, one thing I can tell y'all is that being Sue Goddess was probably one of the hardest things I had to deal with in life, because I went through so much. I ended up, after I did that song, I did a little music video about a year later. Then I turned around and then I went and I decided I was going to move to Georgia. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let me go ahead and move to Georgia. Cause there was this guy that I was cool with, you know, back in the days. He used to kick it with me and my sister and used to pick us up from work. We was like family or whatever. It's back in the day or whatever. But you know what I didn't think about that is people change. People change. They are not who you used to know back then. You know, once a year goes past, this person is a completely new person. You don't know them anymore. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now, just for the ones in the back who didn't know. And yeah, so the guy was like, well, first I was supposed to go stay out there. My family talked it all up like they was gonna help me when it, excuse me, when it came down to it. Motherfuckers didn't really help me for real. So they let me down at the end and I didn't have nowhere to go. So the guy was like, hey, you can come stay down here or whatever. You know, we was just friends. And I'm like, shit, I don't know. At first I was just like, I do not fucking know. But then he kind of like peer pressured me into coming. So I ended up going down there, and I figured, you know, if I go down there, what if my music career pops off? And I was really going for it, y'all, at the time. So I ended up going down there, and we're going to call this guy Brent. Let's call him Brent. Sorry, y'all, for the long pause. We're going to call the guy Brent. So I decided to go out there, and me and Brent was real cool or whatever. And hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So Brent had ended up, you know, talking me into coming down there to Georgia. It was like, you could show me around and that I could have somewhere to lay my head, you know, even us being friends. And everything was cool. So I decided to go down there with one of my cousins. And we went down there, and at first the guy was like really cool, just like back in the day and shit. Turn around, and I don't even know, maybe like a couple of weeks in that I stayed there, I started noticing this nigga is crazy. Ooh, my bad, y'all. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be dropping the N-bomb up on here, but we're gonna fix that. So this mug ended up telling me, you know, like, no, it ended up coming down to a point. Hold on, y'all. So this man's ended up, you know, inviting me over to stay there, me and my cousin and shit like that. So we stayed there, and the first red flag that I noticed was like, we were in the house one day, and he would get like, he was like a really big fucking crybaby. Like, he would cry over simple things and just act like his life was over. Like, this fucking log fell out the sky, literally, and hit the front of the damn headlight on the front of the car and busted it. But it didn't like tear anything up. It just like busted the light. And he ended up crying about that, talk about he just want to die and just leave back to Memphis and leave me down there. I'm like, what the fuck type shit is this? Like, this nigga's crazy. So anywho, that was the first red flag. Then I turned around and I stayed. The longer I stayed, the more shit I started to notice was a little strange about him. So then there was another time that I forgot, me and was like arguing or something, disagreeing. I try not to remember these things, y'all. I try to suppress it, and that's the problem. That's why I need to talk about it. So I don't really remember what happened, but he definitely did like tackled me into the bed, because we was arguing about something, and then he just like tackled me like a fucking football player or something. And I was just like, bro, this dude is crazy. I need to leave. And when I told him I was gonna leave, I was packing my shit up. He was like, no, I'm sorry, want to begin or whatever. Woo, and I'm just like, okay, maybe he's just. I don't know why the fuck I let this shit slide. That was one too motherfucking far. So then we ended up going to Memphis one day and visiting his family and stuff. And I noticed he texting some bitch and shit. All this long ass paragraph, all these cute ass emojis and shit. I'm like, okay, you got me fucked up. Like, this is, I'm not finna, that's disrespectful. So I'm like, of course I got a problem. I'm like, no, I don't even want to be out here. I don't know what you brought me out here for. So, but we get into it or whatever. And the guy gets mad. And he like, this is the second red flag that I noticed. So he ends up coming out and we're like, he starts slamming the doors and he gets so mad and he punched the fucking windshield and it busted and he tell me, get the fuck out my car, get the fuck out my car right now. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck, who the hell you think you goddamn talking to? I said, you know what, you ain't said shit but a motherfucking word. So you know what I did? I got my ass the fuck up at that goddamn car because the fuck, shit. So I got up out the car or whatever and I started calling up some of my people to come pick me the fuck up. So as I'm on the phone trying to make some calls and shit, this dude end up, he leaves and goes like in a circle or whatever and comes back and he's like, get the fuck in the car, get the fuck in the car. I'm not getting in that car. He talking about some, get in that motherfucking car. I said, bro, you got me so fucked up. So buddy end up pulling his pants up and he walk up on me like he was about to do something. So he like, I don't know, was he trying to like choke me, hit me? Before I knew it, y'all, I beat right upside this motherfucking head. Next thing you know, I'm going in on his ass. His cousins and them had to come get me off him. All I remember was a motherfucker saying, stop, bitch. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, but you ain't never in your motherfucking life raised your hand at me. Like, what did you think that this was? So, okay. After that, the cousins come and pull me off of him, and I'm thinking shit's cool. Buddy ass, he ends up acting like everything was calm. Tried to run up on me again, y'all. I beat the fuck out that man. Sorry, y'all. But it happened. He got his ass whooped. So, Brent turned around and after he got his ass whooped on, his cousins was like, y'all come upstairs and get a drink. It's okay, y'all chill that shit out or whatever. Woo woo. I should have fucking left, but you know what? I stayed and I cooled down after we started drinking and smoking this shit. So, excuse me, y'all, sorry. Yeah, so we end up chilling out and shit. We end up going back to Atlanta like the next day. We turned around and like maybe the next day or 2 days later, that was it. Fuck is you talk about? That's where Ruthless 2.0 came in, that song. And I was like, thought I'd give love another chance, but I'll be damned if I be looking at another man have me fucked up from the jump. You feel me? If you ain't woman, I ain't trying to fuck. I can't even listen to a love song no more. Every time I hear the word love, then I'm gonna go. But yeah, that came into play this day. So it just so happened I was getting ready for this job interview and shit like that, and I'm in the bathroom, put my little wig on and stuff, trying to get cute and put my little lashes on, and we had this little itty bitty teeny tiny little kitten that he had got for me, and it was so tiny, y'all. It's like a couple of weeks old, and he's sitting up and I hear the cat like fucking literally screaming, and I'm like, why is the cat screaming? So I come around the corner and he's like choking the cat to the goddamn floor like this and beating the shit out the cat with the back of his iPhone. And I'm just like, bro, what the hell? The cat's like screaming. He beat the cat so fucking bad, y'all, that the cat's leg broke. So that pissed me the fuck off, because why the fuck is you beating the cat with that shit in the first place? Second of all, like, what the hell? Like, so I told this man, what the fuck is you doing? He talk about some, man, the cat was jumping on the bed. He had an air bed or whatever. So the cat was jumping on the bed with his nails or whatever. It didn't even like pop the bed or nothing, y'all. I don't know what the hell, but it pissed me off. And I told this nigga, like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I would never in my life ever had no kid with a nigga like you, cause that don't make no goddamn sense. He talk about it's just a cat. I said, yeah, then y'all will be sitting up talking about something. It's just a baby. That shit is so fucking dead. So, boom, so dude followed me out to the back or whatever. I went to the little balcony in the backyard, and the dude come out there trying to start stuff with me. Talking about something. Okay, well then, you can get the fuck up out of my house. You get the fuck up out of here. Boom, okay, you ain't said nothing but a motherfucking word. You ain't gotta tell me twice, bitch. So what the fuck I do? I took my ass up in the motherfucking house, and oh y'all, I'm sorry. I be getting mad when I relive this shit. It pisses me the fuck off. But anywho, so I went up in the house, and as I'm going in the house, this is the first guy that's ever did this shit to me, y'all. This guy ends up choking me against the motherfucking wall. So I'm in shock right now because I could not believe that this shit really just fucking happened. So he choked me against the fucking wall, and I beat, one of those, and we end up tussling onto the floor, and he gets on top of me or whatever. He had my arms above my head. He was sitting around like my waist. So it was like, however, I don't know, it was God himself. I'm telling y'all, I ended up like maneuvering my way from in between his legs to my legs wrapping around his like waist. And I squeezed like really, really tight with my legs, and I heard a big ass crack. Boom, I look at his ass. His motherfucking rib done did one of these. Bitch done discombobulated on his ass. So, shit. And he started just like some shit out of a fucking movie, y'all. So I'm just like, well, you should stay your ass the fuck up off of me. So boom, okay. I go up the stairs and I go to the closet to continue to pack my shit like a motherfucker told me to do. So I'm packing my shit, getting ready to go or whatever. And this motherfucker gets up off the floor, y'all, comes in the room, grab me from behind in the headlock, and he just starts like just punching me and shit, kicking me, and y'all, he got me to the ground. He started kicking me in my stomach, punching me, all type of shit. And I told his ass, you know what? You better hope that I don't get up, G. Because if I get up, it's over with. So he said, he was like, oh yeah, whatever. He beat my, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, he was fucking me up. So I end up grabbing his dress or whatever. He down on the floor with me. So, you know, me. And then it gets to a point, he got me back against the wall, and I said, nigga, you better hope that you knock me out or that you kill me, because it's over with for your ass. You really got me fucked up now. So he said, I'll do you one even better. So he goes and he grabs some scissors, and he opens them like, you know, like how you cut a box, and he put it at my throat. And I don't scare too easily, y'all. I just thought that he was just trying to, you know, I don't know, make me fucking scared. Shit, I didn't know. I'm just like, dude, like, get the fuck up off me. And I didn't realize he was for real until he starts inserting the shit, and I'm starting to bleed. I'm like, oh, okay, this motherfucker for real, huh? Okay, it's party time. So y'all already motherfucking know. I don't know what came out of me. I must have just booted his ass across the room so hard, y'all, and he like went into this little corner, and I got over there and I started bing, like kicking his head into the wall, and I tried my best to make a hole in the wall with his head, y'all. And then like I got up and I started punching him, and I'm just like, bro, you really just tried to kill me, huh? And so I took the scissors from him, and I did not try to, y'all, but I threw them bitches at him, and it just like, boom, like right in his neck like a fucking dart, y'all. I shit you not. I swear to God, y'all. That shit was crazy. And I was just looking, and he sat there looking at me like this, and it was just quiet for like a good fucking 30 seconds. And next thing you know, I didn't know what to do, y'all, so I pull it out, because I'm like, damn, what the fuck? I thought he was dead. I thought that I was going to jail. I thought I done fucked up. So he ends up, after I pull it out his throat, the blood just started like gushing out and shit. Sorry, y'all, I tell every detail, but yeah, it was like gushing out. And so he ends up getting up, and He goes stumbling down the stairs, and he's like, and like, I thought that he was fucking sitting there dying or something. So I'm just watching and just in awe. And then he just laid there, his eyes wide open, his mouth open. So I'm like, oh my God, y'all. So boom, I go call the motherfucking police, because I'm like, and then they answer the phone. I'm like, I don't know what happened. This guy, he just tried to, and I had to defend myself. I didn't mean to try to kill this boy, but he had me fucked up, sitting up trying to put his hands up on me. And the lady was like, calm down, calm down. What the fuck you mean, calm down, bitch? I'm trying to get up out of here. So she talking about some, okay, well, what's going on? Man, this dude in here trying to kill me. And she was like, okay, well, calm down. Bitch, you calm down. Fuck. Bitch, I'm in here about to die, and you're playing right now. This is not a joke. I'm like, bro, send some help. She's talking about, okay, well, and I was like, well, okay, I'm getting ready to go, because they want to take their sweet ass time trying to come up there. They're taking like 20, 30 minutes, and I'm telling them, okay. So she was like, okay, just get what you can out the house or whatever. Just go sit on the... So I'm like, okay, whatever. So boom, I'm steady trying to pack my shit. Y'all, I shit you not. This motherfucker... Excuse me, y'all, I'm so sorry. This motherfucker silently comes up the stairs with a motherfucking hammer, y'all. And I'm on this phone, I said, bro, I swear to God, on my life, you hit me with this motherfucking hammer, G, you're gonna die today. They gonna find your dead ass body in this motherfucker. So, the police officer is like telling me to calm down. I said, man, this dude trying to hit me in the head with a motherfucking hammer. He talk about, well, get out of my house, get out of my house. I'm like, nigga, you ain't said shit but a motherfucking word. I leave all this shit right here. So I go outside, and then they tell me that I cannot go anywhere, because if I go somewhere, it's something, and then I end up going to jail. I'm just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, bitch. I'm telling you that I'm in fucking danger. I need some fucking help. So they ended up fucking sending help, and some people ended up coming. And at first, before they sent help, I'm sitting on the front porch, and he's up in the house, and he turns around, like after like 5 minutes, he comes back outside talking about some, just come back in the house. We can just be cool. I'm sorry that happened. Let's just be cool. Bitch, you out your motherfucking mouth. Who the fuck finna go up in that motherfucking house? You got me fucked up. You just tried to kill me. Like, I am not with that. That was like some shit out of a movie. And the dude ends up, he gets mad because I wouldn't go out there. And so he ends up coming out there trying to like harass me. And I had 2 phones at the time. And the guy ends up coming out there, taking my phone, throwing it in the bushes. And I made him go get my motherfucking shit. And then I had to end up calling him off the other phone. He came outside still trying to fight me. And it was a neighbor right across the street outside, you guys. And like, I'm like, hey, excuse me. Like, do you see this? The guy's like hitting me upside my head. I'm like, do you see this? And he was like, hey, y'all need to take that in the house. What the fuck you mean take it in the house? This is serious. This dude is fucking whooping on me. I'm in danger. So he ends up going in the house or whatever, the neighbor guy. And, I end up tussling with the dude again, whooping his ass. He go back in the house, and then the motherfucking police ended up coming. And when the police got there, I ran up to him and I hugged him and I told him, get me the fuck up out of there. And I explained to them everything that was happening, how, the guy ended up, choking the cat out and all type of shit. And just, it all went the fuck down. And so after that happens, I just so happened to have an uncle that I was just reuniting with, that I was just kind of like meeting around that time. He's a gay uncle. He's really fucking cool though. He's cool as hell. And my uncle ended up letting me stay with him for a while. Like I said, I only stayed with the guy for about like maybe 2 months before all that shit happened. And I ended up staying with my uncle. And I was staying with my uncle for a while. And like I said, y'all, he's gay. So he had a little boyfriend. His boyfriend was around my age at the time. I was like 21. And I was staying there for a little bit, and then it became to a point where he was giving gold digger. And, it went from me staying there, he was helping me get myself together, and then he turned around. As soon as I get me a job or whatever, it gets to a point where now he's asking for all of my money, where I didn't have any funds to myself, where I was able to, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get myself on my own feet, but I have to save up. But if you taking all my money from me, how am I going to be able to save up? So at a couple point, he asking for rent. He asking for all my, food stamps I was getting. He was asking me for, money to get me to and from work. I just kept asking for money, till I just didn't have anything. And I was only a server at the time at Applebee's in Georgia. And I was only making $2.25 an hour, and the only thing that I was, living off of was my tips. And hopefully, you better hope you get a good day, or you're not gonna get any good tips. If you fuck around, just get $5 for the day. That's what you get. Then you still gotta split it with the, host and stuff, so you really don't get much or nothing. But at least you leave with money every day. So it came to a point where I was staying there for a while, and my uncle started getting really super money hungry and taking everything, all of my tips, every piece of money that I would have. He would ask me for rent, then he'll turn around the next day, tell me to give him some more money, So it came to a point where I had to put my foot down, and I'm like, listen, if I'm trying to have anything going for myself, I need to be able to put money to the side. But I can't put money to the side if you're taking all of my money, because we ended up just getting a car. My family helped put together some money and got my first car. And they sat there and they did it. They complained about it. My family is not really, they don't like doing shit like that. And if only y'all knew what we went through just to get it. They ended up trying to help me get my first car, and they ended up, I wasn't able to drive it right away because I didn't have like insurance right away and stuff, and I had to get everything together. And after that, he wouldn't give me my keys. He was treating me like I was a kid. I'm 21 years old at the time, and he's treating me like I'm a big ass kid, will not give me my keys, telling me that I can't drive unless whatever. So when I needed a ride to work and stuff, my car was in the driveway, but I couldn't drive it to work. So I had to ask him for a ride, which means I have to give him money. So and he charged me more than a motherfucking Uber. So yeah, y'all. And I was only working up the street. So we got into it one night because he was demanding more money from me, and I had already given him everything that I had. And shit, you're not gonna continue to milk me so I don't ever get nowhere. I don't like that. That's why I don't like stealing people now. So that became a big thing. And he told me that if I wasn't gonna give him no money, that I can get the fuck out. Listen, y'all, I don't give a damn about somebody telling me to get the fuck out, because I'm already, on game about this shit now. I'm already ready. When you say go, I'm already ready to fucking leave. I got my bags already sitting at the door because I don't never like to overwhelm my state. So I ended up, I'm like, all right, bet, just give me my keys or whatever, and I'll be gone tomorrow. So boom, he ends up putting me out, and I ended up leaving, and I was homeless in Georgia for like 2 months, and I was sleeping out of my car. I was all alone. I was just finding out that I was pregnant for the first time. And I ended up losing that baby, and I was, like I said, homeless and sleeping out the car. But I ended up getting a job at the airport, and God blessed me, y'all. I cannot thank God enough. God blessed me that it was this lady that worked up there, and she was just sent from God himself. Like, she would make sure that I ate. She would sit and talk to me all day. She'd keep me laughing. Like, I would love to go to work because it was my escape from sleeping in the car. It was cold outside, hot outside. I slept in the car when it was like a tropical fucking thunderstorm. I was scared as shit, y'all. I was by myself all alone, praying every night that God get me out of that situation. And I was working at the airport, Jackson Hartfield Airport in Atlanta. And it was like one of the best jobs I had, for real. And I was doing it. I was being homeless for a while, and I was embarrassed. So I didn't really like to talk about it. But what I would do was I would go and I would do concerts. And y'all would see me all dressed up and with my hair done. But guess what? I did the hair in the car. I braided that shit in the car. I did my makeup in the car. I got dressed in the car. But nobody knew that shit because, hell, social media, you know, social media makes shit look good when it's really not. If only y'all knew, y'all, the tears I cried, the hurt, the anger that I screamed and endured, like the shit that I've been through from just that alone. And I was stressing, and it came to a point where my uncle, you know, wasn't trying to help me fix my car anymore. So, and I got tired of being homeless. My car started breaking down, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm not about to be homeless and not, you know, not have anywhere. You know, fuck that. So I ended up I was gonna go back to Chicago, but I ended up deciding I'm gonna go to Memphis and spend my birthday with my sister. My birthday was coming up. So I'm like, I'm gonna spend my birthday with my sister and Thanksgiving. And I was all excited because my mom was down there in Mississippi, my stepdad, and my sister. And I decided to go down there, and I drove all alone for like, it was like a 5-hour drive. I drove down there, and I ended up, you know, I was dating this girl at the time. And if it was not for her, I swear, y'all, I would not have had a birthday. That was the worst Thanksgiving and shit of my life. So, yeah, I ended up going, and the girl ended up, she was treating me for my birthday and paid for us a hotel and type of stuff. And it was really dope. And she really made sure that my birthday was like everything when nobody else was there. I was telling my sister that, hey, bitch, you know, I came down here. Let's go to the club. Let's shake some ass. Like, let's turn it up. So, you know, she kind of sent me out, and she told me she was going to go. And I was really disappointed because my birthday came and she didn't come. I was upset. She kept telling me she was going to come after we ate. And she said after she was finished doing something. Then the whole day passed, and I was sad, y'all. Then I ended up, me and my mom was into it. My mama told me that, you know, I ruined her life. I ruined her marriages. You know, she should never had me and stuff. And I got really disappointed. And I went and I asked my mom that day. I'm like, dang, Mom, like, I know you told me that those years ago, but I just wanted to know if you really meant that. And she looked me dead in my face, and we was in front of a lot of people, and she told me that she meant it when she said that. And that day, I tried to kill myself. I tried to smash head on with someone in the car, with myself in the car, because, I don't know, I just kind of gave up, y'all. And my sister, you know, wasn't there for me and shit. And then, I'm trying to think. I ain't crying, y'all. I ain't, you know, I don't be crying. But no, I really, you know, wanted to spend my birthday with her. And then the next day, I ended up, you know, throwing up out the car. And I was still sleeping in the car. Like, after me and the girl stayed at the hotel for a couple of days, shit, I was right back to the car. It was getting cold outside. And, yeah, my family, my mom was telling me I wasn't welcome at her house, so I didn't have nowhere to go, but she was out of town, and I ended up going, and my sister gave me the key to go stay in her house for a couple of days, and that's what I did. And then my mama was still gone. Thanksgiving rolls around by the next week, and my sister was out with her man, my stepdad was out on the road, and my mother was gone, and I was all by myself for Thanksgiving. And I cried because I ate a bowl of cereal, and that's all I had. And I love Thanksgiving, y'all. That's one of my favorite holidays, and nobody was there. It was just me. And so I kind of was going through it a little bit. But the only person that stepped for me was my best friend, Zeta G. I will always love that bitch till the day I die. I don't give a fuck. That's my bitch right there. She called her mother, and her mother came over and brought me a plate of food to eat, and I got to eat good that night. And yeah, I was really sad. And then I turned around after that happened. I'm trying to think. After that happened, okay, now I got another story to tell y'all. So after that happened, my car started to mess up, and it was getting really, really cold out. It started to get like, you know, mist on the ground. Like, not mist, I'm sorry, y'all. Frost. The frost on the ground. And it was getting cold. Shit, I didn't have no blankets in my car. Like, when I was sleeping in the car, I would sleep in the back seat and I would use covers. I mean, not covers. What the fuck? Clothes. I would use clothes and I just bunch them together on top of me to keep me warm, y'all. It was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. And yeah, this is just horrible. This is embarrassing. But yeah, that ended up happening. And I ended up coming down to a point where, all right, my music started coming out of the stores and I had to pay to keep it in the stores. And I was like, okay, I got enough for that. But then my car started messing up, but I had enough for that too. It was either one or the other. And I'm like, damn, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I had this friend that I met in Memphis, y'all. This is the most embarrassing thing. And then after this, I'm going to, you know, cut it off. And then if y'all like it or whatever, then I'm going to give y'all part 2. But yeah, so I ended up having this friend. And shit, I just call her name, Jay. Her name is Jay. And she was in Memphis. And she was a, you know, dancer. One of those. Yes. And she had like this fucking pole in her house. And y'all, I ain't finna act like I ain't finna get on no motherfucking pole when I see one. Don't even play like that, y'all. Don't even fucking play. Hell yeah, I wanted to get on that shit. I ain't no hater. So shit, she ended up teaching me how to dance and shit. Yes, dance. Stripper. I was a stripper. And she ended up teaching me how to do that shit. And we ended up doing a couple of parties. And boom. I ended up making the money that I needed to make. It wasn't much to it at all, y'all. I promise it wasn't. Yeah, so boom, I started learning how to dance, and it was all right. It wasn't, you know, it put money in my pockets. I was able to afford to get the things that I needed. I was able to get my car fixed and keep my music in the stores, but I didn't do it long, y'all, because it's just, excuse me, it's just, I don't know. It's not me. I don't feel comfortable doing that type of shit. It's just a once in a lifetime, one of those. I remember I used to always say that, you know, if I ever got to a broke point in my life where I just really, 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 really needed help, instead of going and standing on the street begging for change, I'd rather shake my ass. And shit, it came a point in life where I needed to do that. So hell, it is what the fuck it is. Judge me if you want to, baby. But guess what? I made my money at the end of the motherfucking day, okay? So yeah, that shit happened. And after all that, I ended up, what happened? I didn't stay out there long. I ended up buying me a ticket once I found out that my transmission was going out on my car, because it wouldn't go, I think it wouldn't go forward and it would only go backwards, something like that. So yeah, all I know is the motherfucker was broke and I couldn't get to where I needed to go. So I ended up buying me a ticket to leave, to go back to Chicago, and I ended up going back. And we're going to stop it right there, because y'all, I can't give it all to y'all in one big go like that. But y'all got to tell me how y'all feel about this, because I don't know how I feel about this, y'all. This is all new to me, and I hope y'all don't think I'm crazy. My emotions be switching up, y'all. I'm sorry. But when I be reliving shit, I get pissed off. But I got lots of tea to tell y'all. I have so much. So I'm going to need for y'all to stay tuned. I want y'all to follow me at SueGoddess_. I don't really have social medias like that because, like I said, y'all, I'm just getting back out here. So I do plan on doing more of these. I don't know how often. Just subscribe and stay tuned and shit. You'll see them. They're going to be soon, though. Bye.